Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. I have a package arrived from ThruNite. We'll see what we got here. It's a bigger size flashlight. From the box anyway, it looks bigger. I'll be needing that. Instructions. There's your typical ThruNite pouch. It's going to have a lanyard, and I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff in there. Let me see. Oh yeah, O-rings, charging port covers, and a little metal ring. Put that back off camera. I'll put it back inside. Charging cable. They always provide everything you need for their lights. And there is a larger sized flashlight. Yeah, there's a decent sized, wow, that's a deep lens. Deep. And there will be your USB charging port. And I'm sure there's a protective thing inside somewhere. How's the battery come off? Here it is. Oh, it's a single unit, I think. Nope, it's a gigantic battery inside. 5,000 milliamp hour, 26650, 3.7 volt. That is a big battery. Normally there's a protective piece in there to stop them from conducting, but I don't see one in this case. Usually to stop them from conducting in transportation. Really good high quality aluminum, as always with ThruNite. And they got some indentations, grooves in here to give you a good hand grip, so it's not going to slip out of your hand. Let me see. Well, there it is. It is charged. I don't know if it's fully charged, but I'll be charging it up later. One thing about ThruNite is there's always a tiny little LED right there that tells you the status of charge. It's blue, so it means it's charged. So let's see what we got for ranges. ThruNite also always comes on in the last mode you had it, and I'm holding the button. Woo! So there's three ranges. I'm going to turn it off. That was in medium. It's going to come on in medium again. And I believe long press, and you should get a firefly mode. Is this one going to do that? Yes, I didn't see it. It is on. And then double click is going to give you the emergency strobe. Double click from when it's on. Double click is going to give it turbo. Double click is going to give emergency, and then back to on. So this flashlight has a series of modes and brightness levels. We have the Firefly, which is a long slow press. That gives us 0.3 lumens, which, believe it or not, is enough for map reading and getting around at night in the forest in a stealth mode. With the Firefly mode, you are not easily detectable in the forest or in survival scenarios or at battle, but yet you can see what you're doing. So I love that. And that'll run for 70 days. Now, my wife and I would like to take the ThruNite flashlights camping with us and turn it on firefly mode to light up our tent at night and leave it on as a night light so we don't disturb one another if we have to get up in the night for any reason. That is really great. Then there's, you turn it on, let me cycle it down to low. Low is 31 lumens, and that'll last for 86 hours. And then the next range is medium. Cycle it on to medium. That's 270 lumens, and that'll last for, let me get some light on here, 9 hours. I've blinded myself from this light already. And then high is 1,417 lumens, and that'll last for 102 minutes on high. Now we're going to take this outdoors later on and we'll cycle through everything, but I want to go through it all while I can see the instructions here inside. And then there's turbo and strobe. There's turbo mode, which is an insane 2,836 lumens, and that's why I'm blinded from just having this on inside. It is insanely bright. And then strobe, which is 1,120 lumens. And the thing gets hot. You can feel the heat. Oops, I shut it off actually. You can feel the heat being generated right around here where the LED actually is when it's on turbo mode. And it'll last 220 seconds, however many minutes that is in turbo. That's an incredibly, insanely bright mode. Looks like, I'm not sure, there's 2 turbo modes. There's 1,313, which is almost equivalent to high. I've got to figure that out. That's something new. They've got two turbo modes listed on here, so I'm going to have to play with that and figure it out. But we'll take this outside and we'll have a look at it and see what it can do. Good evening, everybody. I got the ThruNite flashlight here in the dark. I'm out in the yard light, but we're going to try this out over here in a dark corner. Actually, I want to make sure there's no creatures out here before I head out there. I can't see my display, so I've got to pay attention. This is a camera I'm not familiar with in the dark. And this camera is shrinking the display. So I might have to adjust the camera, but it's not the best one for this because you can see the spotlight of the ThruNite flashlight, but there's a massive outer ring. There you can see the outer ring. You can see the outer ring and the spotlight. The camera adjusts itself too much, but there's a massive outer ring of this flashlight. Huge, which is nice because you've got the central focal point and then it's very wide coverage. You can see that? That's good because it gives you a very good range outside the focal point, so you can really see pretty much everything. I like that. I like that a lot, how that's set up. A lot of flashlights either have too wide and blurred out or too focused and nothing around that little focal point, which is scary in the dark if you're out with wild animals or creatures or in a survival situation. Anyway, let's check out the functions of this light. I'm going to get over here where it's dark. First of all, we have Firefly. If you hold and press the button for a couple seconds, then you've got Firefly. Okay? Now, you can also, I turned off Firefly, you can also turn on the light with one click, and it comes on in the last mode you used, which is what we were looking at a minute ago. Now you hold and press the button, the power button, and you'll cycle through the modes. So there's low, medium, high, low, medium, high. And high is, well, there you get to see the beam a lot better. The camera shows that better. Really, really good. I mean, this is incredible. I'm looking at our greenhouse frame, but it lights up the night. You can see the treetops clear as day up there. I mean, look at that. That's some fine, whoops, trying to focus through the camera. Well, that is some fine detail. The camera adjusts the brightness of the light on me. It's a very strange camera. I'm not liking this new camera for some things. But that is lit up like daytime. Now we also have turbo mode. So we double click and we've got incredibly bright light, super bright turbo mode. And if the camera would allow, this place is lit up like you wouldn't believe out here. See the wide peripheral range? Very, very good. That wide angle is incredibly bright. I mean, look at that on the right side of that display. Really bright, even on the outside edges in turbo mode. You can see everything. You can see our garden. But now look at the treetops. That's turbo. Again, that's turbo mode. I mean, you could probably pick out a tree frog in that tree. That is incredible. Now the flashlight is getting warm in my hand, and it will auto shut off. There is a thermal shut off. Now double click again and you've got strobe, which is sort of cool on the camera. Strobe light. It's really cool on the camera. And then back to your whatever mode you had it in last. I'm going to put it in medium. So let's go check out the long range of this. I'm going to go out to the road. And good thing I've got the strobe, because if there's a coyote who wants to eat me, actually one coyote won't affect you, but if there's a bunch of them, they might get brave. So that's why it's good to have strobe to confuse something that might be after you. Let's go check this out for long range function. By the way, just walking out the road, I want to show you the turbo going down a dark trail in the forest is just amazing. Now again, this camera darkens it. It is crazy bright, just like daylight over there. And the wide beam, you can see, is very bright all the way around. You've got a super bright focal point, but I can see everything just almost like daylight out here. This camera is terrible for flashlight work, but you can get the idea right here how bright the circle is. I can see dust. Look at that dust. That could be pollen. I mean, how often do you get to see that clearly? The dust floating through the air. Let me go back to medium range. You can't see the dust as well. You put it on turbo and look at that. How often do you see that? Wow. Alright, so let's go down the road here, and you can see all the way down to the end of my road. I can see all the way down to the end of the road. Now, up there in the trees, I can get this to focus. Cameras are always a job in the night. Look at that. And I'm about 400 or 500 feet from those trees right there that I'm shining on. And, I mean, it's pretty bright. That's turbo. Again, you've got that pinpoint, super bright pinpoint light, and then you've got that wide radius, so you don't miss anything in the dark. And I hear coyotes hooting at each other right now. So that is a pretty impressive light. Again, this camera cannot do it justice. I'm going to have to switch cameras for night work, but bright as day. You can see individual pine needles with this thing. And it's pitch black at night. Look at that. That is incredible. Anyway, there's the ThruNite flashlight in the night. Pretty good. Well, there you have it, guys. the ThruNite V6 flashlight, another amazing high quality, super bright flashlight from ThruNite. Well, check out the link down below to find out where to purchase one. Please like, subscribe, and share. Talk to you all later. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project.